Hi there, my name is DJ Waldow, and I turned 50 on February 23rd, 2026. So, for the next 50 days, I'm sharing one thing that I've learned after almost 50 years on this planet. Today's thing is number 33: ask for help. I always ask for help. I asked my neighbors and friends for help getting my kids to different activities, whether it's school or sports. In my writing business, my freelance writing business, I asked my peers to help review content for me. I asked medical advice from my wife, who's a doctor. I even asked ChatGPT often, all the time, for help. Not necessarily for advice, but often for help. I think too often people are reluctant to ask for help because they see it as a weakness. And listen, I get it. I'm type A, recovering perfectionist. I'm a dude. I can do it all on my own. I don't need any help. I don't need to ask for directions. Actually, I don't ask for directions because I just plug it into Google Maps now. I never ask for directions anymore. But I think too often we're afraid to ask for help because it's seen as us not knowing the answer and being weak in some way. I think back to the figure it out episode where my kids might ask for help to do something, but I force them to figure it out. When I say asking for help is good, I mean for my kids in particular, after struggling a little bit, there does come a point in time where maybe they really can't figure it out. And it's a judgment call. So I'll give an example that happened earlier. A few weeks ago, my son has been working on his e-bike a lot. And I'm constantly saying, of course, figure it out. Well, I went to help him the other day, and it turns out some things are kind of broken, or some things I can't actually help him with. Or we look on YouTube and we try to figure it out. At some point, we realize we actually can't. And so I said to him the other day, I said, let's just take your bike in. Let's ask a professional. Let's ask somebody else for help. And of course, he came back to me and said, Dad, I thought we were supposed to figure it out. Yes, but at some point, it's okay to ask people who know more about a topic or know more about, in this case, about how to put a bike back together than we do. So that's a great example of asking for help. I think asking for help, once you're comfortable and get over the fact that is not a weakness, I think it just makes you more vulnerable, which is, I believe, is a very good thing. I also think, like I've mentioned before, it is freeing when you know that you can rely on somebody else. I do think asking for help builds community. I talked about parenting takes a village. Well, it does build that community when you ask somebody else for their advice. It is connecting you with other people as well. I think asking for help is extremely relevant, especially when it comes to mental health. Did a whole episode on mental health. I definitely encourage you to listen to that one. But the short version here is that too often when we're struggling with something, whether it's anxiety or depression or eating disorder, we're not asking for help. We're trying to figure it on our own. We don't think anybody else is going through the same thing. But the reality is there's tons of people that are going through it. And they'd be more than willing to help you. But you often have to be the one to initiate. You have to be the one to ask for help. Personally, for me, I often ask for help. Like I said, when I was younger, I never asked for help. But now, since I've been in my 40s and going into my 50s, I ask for help all the time. I'm not an expert in most things. So I go to the people who know more than me or that can help me in some way. I also, on the flip side of it, I actually really enjoy helping people. And I think most people are like that. I think most people want to be helpful. For me personally, it brings me great joy to know that I can help somebody either with an answer or connect them with something or a technology issue that they're struggling with. I love taking the burden or the stress off somebody else by helping them. I love to drive people in carpool and there's lots of people that don't have the flexibility that I have in my workday. So I love to be helpful in that way. So there's a personal tie to this too of being helpful. But I also think the idea of asking for help is just something that at some point we have to get over that fear that it's going to make us look bad or make us look weak. All right, that is it. That is thing number 33. Ask for help. As always, if you like this episode, if it resonated, share it with somebody else. You can also go on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and like and share and comment. I read every comment and I try to get back to you. So thank you so much for listening. This was thing number 33. Tomorrow, thing number 34. Thank you. Thank you.